Hello, welcome to Wednesday at 1. I need to say this before I forget, because I was just speaking with Bertie. Dream the life so you can live the dreamed life. Is that what I said? Dream the life. So, okay, Wednesday at 1. My name's Kenny Marmalade Cruz, and I want to give you something. So, check this out. Do you remember Sade? Smooth operator. So, today I shaved because I'm doing Wednesday at 1, and if I didn't, then I'd be in deep trouble with my wife because I'd look scruffy and I need to put on a good show. And while I was shaving, I went into the magic zone. And I feel there are a few magic zones. There's the magic zone of shaving, magic zone of brushing teeth, of having a shower, of just waking up or just going to bed or walking in nature or just daydreaming or whatever. Now, it's not, you shouldn't do that. You should be working things out and planning your day. It's more dream. Allow the dreams to go wild. Enter the dream. And today I was dreaming about all sorts of magical things that might happen. Going on holiday, who we're meeting, thinking that The Guardian have been in touch, they're gonna do some publicity stuff with us, so what that might open. And now I've decided to write 2 or 3 ebooks, and I need to get a book thing, so after The Guardian I'll probably write a, and then travelling. Bertie's going to make a documentary, travelling the world, where we'll go, who I know in which country, how I'll get, going to Portugal, Carl Munson, who's into the men's groups and wants to start his own, and another guy, Timothy Wenger, who interviewed me, how Carl lives in Portugal and I'm going there at the same time as Timothy, and we'll do a group, and and then it's like stuff with my friends, and I just went off on these magical fantasies. The good news is, what I didn't do and what I used to do is, stop at the daydreaming, get real, keep your head down, work hard, be sensible. We need diggers as well as dreamers. Now, the digging comes when it's time for structure and grounded stuff. The dreaming, in the old days, I'd think, nah, that's silly. What am I thinking? Okay, if that's what I want, then how do I do it? And if I do this and this, and I would just think myself round in circles and nothing would happen. I'd actually, rather than open up into dreamland and give energy to, the magic that might happen, I'd close it down thinking, oh, this is too overwhelming. I can't do the stuff I'm supposed to do, and now I'm doing that. Do you know what I mean? So that's one of the things I'd do, is how do I do it? Rather than feeling it into being, rather than making space in the field for the magic to come as and when the time is right, knowing that fantasy or dream or something better is coming my way, and knowing especially that how the magic's going to happen is none of my business. None of my business. And I bet for you, same as me, the best people I've met in my life, the best coincidences, ending up living in Fiji and then running groups in Sydney and meeting someone in Singapore that put me in touch with so-and-so family, and I've just followed. And in order to follow, in order to allow this to come, I couldn't have planned any of those things. It doesn't work that way. So my doing and planning and forcing it, thinking it into being, would be limited probably by my previous experience. So open up beyond that and allow these magical people and coincidences to come your way. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Was that a by the way? Did I just kind of, where was I? Did I miss the track, or am I on track? I don't remember. Living it into being. I remember. The other thing I used to do, the other thing was listen to the negative voices in my head. And that owned me for a long time. It could be the voices of family members or friends, or a critic or critics that I've had in my life, or it could be my church, my community. It's like, no, we don't do that, other people do that. Or the voices of my fantasy of, if I fail, what people will say or what will happen, or all of these limiting voices. And some of them I might have been brought up with, so it's normal, it's not even limiting. And some of it might be my own fears, my own part of me, say protector, trying to protect me from humiliation or give himself an easy life to keep my life small and easy to manage. So I needed to listen to those voices. I didn't need to avoid them, suppress them, deny them, because that would be feeding them by pushing them down. I needed to listen to them and think, whose voice is that and where does it come from? Is that going on now? Nah, not true. Where does that belief come from? Is that going on now? Or is that voice mine or someone else's? Or is that voice trying to tell me something? Don't make a big deal of it. Just as it comes up, I believe that the only reason that things come up is the crap comes up saying, let me go. And then once I let it go, once I unlearn it, then there's space for life to meet me and give me more stuff. So I wonder, strangely, I'm not one to be cosmic as you know, I wonder whether these limiting voices or these fears or, whatever it is that stops the magic from happening, whether that is the gift that says, let go of me, and you know which part it is, so you can let go and continue on the path, or whether it's life saying, if you can let go of this, if you are safely able to live beyond this, then life will give you more. But if you can't let go of this yet, then we know that life giving you more might actually be premature. It might be too much for you to take. Am I getting too cosmic? I hope not. And I guess maybe that's where two little techniques I've used before. The thank you for reminding me who I used to be. Sometimes these voices, hopefully more often than not, do not need processing. They just need, for the babble and the compulsive checking and the fears, take a deep breath in when I'm lost in it. And I think, thank you for reminding me who I used to be, which was babbling and safe. And as I breathe out, I take part with what's in front of me and what I wish to grow rather than what I wish to go. If it's persistent and it's not shifting and there's a pattern to it, then when you take the breath, follow the feeling back to see where the scene of the crime or the fractured spirit or the break or, the incident or whatever, where that is, and then you know which part you need to work with. The efficient thing, trick number 72 from my Handy Life Trick book is, rather than I'm going to look for trouble because once I've fixed everything and once I'm good enough, then I can take part in life, which is, for me, the long way around, maybe the safe way around, maybe it's pretending to be in control, maybe it's absolute avoidance. So rather than I need to fix myself before I move forward, I think the more efficient way to do it is move forward and then just deal with whatever comes up. Why look for trouble? Why look for stuff that needs to be fixed until you're good enough? When I click my fingers, you are good enough. Ready? Take a deep breath in. Good enough. What a gift. So move forward, whatever comes up, deal with it rather than find stuff to justify not moving forward about. And if there's anything you need to know or learn or unlearn or get it in hindsight. You don't need to know everything before moving forward. I remember a long time ago, I got so much information about so many lost parts or confusing parts of my life. And I got the information and it kind of made sense. And I'm sure most of it was true. And there it was, logically. So now what do I do? And what I did and what was the most efficient for me was, right, so that's the logical story, partly from other people, partly from facts that I don't even remember. Now I need to feel my story and feel through my story because that was my experience. And that's where I can go through and free rather than in my head or addicted to and busy. Now, on that third busy, I think I need to stop and take a breath and some water. Everyone tells me actually, I'm so much better hanging out with people and chatting than speaking to the back of my iPhone. Like, no offense, I know that there's more to you than the back of my iPhone, but it's like Babel City or what? We've got some questions, eh? Shall I go into questions? Have I made sense so far, Bertie?
Yeah. So
that's a relief. Ooh. Check out the logo. I know I've shown you before, but in between the legs of the M, there's the man speaking and the man listening. And I sent a message to Bertie yesterday saying, can we animate them? Wouldn't that be cool if one's mouth is moving, even if there are notes or words coming out, and the other one has a wiggling ear or something? Bertie does like all the filming and everything for me, and animations and stuff. And you know, he seems quite nice, but he's got a funny edge to him. It's kind of like sharp and hilarious. Anyway, enough bitching in front of Bertie's back. Question number 1.
So these questions were from Carl Monson. There's 3 of them. The first one's, what's your big passion?
My big passion is basically, do you know, it's not a thing. My big passion is hanging out with people, maybe in nature, in whatever situation, but being met. I need to be met. I need to be real. I need to get out of my head and my paranoias. I need to get away from the cleverness. It's like when we sit in a men's group together, just being together and whatever's up. Or when I'm walking in the forest with one of my best friends and we're not saying a word. Or when I don't know how to put it. It's the being zone, the space of truth and growth, and more than anything, love. Sometimes it's that edge of either with a friend or a client when someone says something and I feel like crying. I'm kind of on the verge because my heart has opened. So it's that oneness connection.